Greetings everyone, we are spending the day here at EPCOT because it is the first day of EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival 2025, and there's always so much to do at this festival. This year there are over 35 global marketplaces. Those are the food kiosks around the park, and there's new food items and also new beverage options. There's the Eat to the Beat concert series, there are scavenger hunts, there's a food stroll, there's new merchandise, and the list goes on. Now, today we're going to be focusing on what's new at the festival, so primarily trying out the new food items that they have. Now, there's a ton of new food items. I'm not going to be eating all of the new food items today because that would just be a recipe for disaster, but I'm going to try to eat as many new food items as I possibly can. We're also going to check out some of the merchandise and just see what other new things are happening around the festival, and of course just enjoy EPCOT now that it's back in festival mode. So I hope you brought your appetites. I know I did. So let's go enjoy the festival. So on my way into the park, I picked up one of the festival passports. This is something I always recommend people grab when they're doing any of the EPCOT festivals because it's just a super helpful guide. If you want to know what the food items are this year, where the food kiosks are, this guide will tell you everything you need to know. It has a whole list of all the menu items. It also lists where those menu items are, where you can find the kiosks. It even has the lineup for the Eat to the Beat concert series. So if you're here to listen to some music, you want to know what acts are playing while you're here, it has all of that as well. Also in the back of the passport, this is where you can find the list of menu items that are part of Emil's Fromage Montage. This is the cheese-themed food stroll here at Food and Wine Festival. Now this year there are 9 options of items that you can get at the different food kiosks, but you only have to get 5 items. So once you purchase those 5 items and collect the 5 stamps, you then can return to Simmering Sips for a special treat. What's really great is that you can get 5 different items, or you can get 5 of the same item. You also don't have to get all 5 items at once. You can do one item one day that you're at the festival, get another item another day. As long as you just get it completed during the festival run, you can still get your special treat. All right, so before we hit up the first food kiosk of the day, I did want to stop over here in Creation Shop to check out the merchandise that they have for Food and Wine Festival. Now, I'll be the first to admit I am not a big merchandise person. I don't really spend a lot of money on merchandise. Every once in a while I'll buy something, but it really has to grab my attention because otherwise I'm like, I don't have all this room for all this stuff. You know what I mean? So it has to be something very specific, usually a t-shirt or some kind of collectible item, but I don't just buy merchandise like that. But anyway, I always like to go into the shops though to see what they have, and this year they have quite a few different collections. They of course have the branded Food and Wine collection, so it's just merchandise with the Food and Wine logo on it. This year they have this blue color scheme with like different food items like bread and things like that with Food and Wine Festival 2025 on it, and they have, you know, spirit jerseys, t-shirts, some bags and things like that, and it looks really cool. Then they also have a Chef Mickey collection, so it's more of a reddish, burgundy reddish color, some pink colored items, and they have like tanks and spirit jerseys, and it has, you know, Chef Mickey on it, but it also has Minnie, Donald and Daisy, and of course Food and Wine logo on it. And this year they have a collection for the Muppets. You can't go wrong with the Muppets because everyone loves the Muppets. And they have a t-shirt that says Muppet Labs on it. They also have a bag, you know, they have Beaker and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew. It's really great for anyone that's a Muppet fan like me, and I actually really liked the Muppet t-shirt that they had in there. So I don't know, I might go back in there and get it because that was one of the things that caught my eye. And of course you couldn't have an EPCOT festival without Figment, and they have a whole bunch of Figment merchandise available as well. So it's time to eat, and I am all ready because I picked up one of these gift card wristlets, and this is just a super easy, convenient way to pay for things as you eat and drink your way around the festival. I always recommend people get one of these just because of how convenient it is. You don't have to worry about pulling out your credit card or any cash or anything like that. You just use this gift card, they scan it, and you're done. Another great thing about this too is it can help you budget. Nobody wants to overspend at Disney World. And so you can just load however amount of money that you want to spend for the day or for the run of the festival and just spend that. So super convenient, super easy, it's great. The first stop was Flavors from Fire, which is right over here by Creation Shop. They have a Montreal style burger slider, the Rodizio style grilled beef skewer, and smoked corned beef. I decided to get the Rodizio style grilled beef skewer with marble potatoes, charred shallots, roasted baby peppers, and chimichurri. And I mostly got this because one, this is a brand new item, but this also looked really interesting. And what's really great is you can see them grilling the beef while you're over there. This dish was actually really good. I liked the different flavors here, the chimichurri and the baby peppers. And the beef was very tender and had a nice smoky flavor. Not an overpowering smoky flavor, but just a nice subtle smoky flavor. And the potatoes were a nice consistency. They weren't overly creamy, but they also weren't chunky either. I would definitely get this dish again. Now I'm really curious what they're gonna do with Communicore Hall, just because ever since it's opened, they've used this space for the different festivals. Like sometimes they'll have a food kiosk in there, they'll have merchandise in there, or have some other activity. Right now, it's currently operating as Goofy Core, which is this indoor play space for kids that they've had open for Cool Kids Summer. Now, Goofy Core is actually supposed to close on September 1st. So there is a possibility that once Goofy Core goes away, Disney could transform Communicore Hall into something for Food and Wine Festival. Nothing has been announced, at least not yet anyway. I would love it if they could put some other kind of activities in this space. Back in the day, like pre-pandemic, Food and Wine Festival used to have things like culinary demonstrations and seminars and things like that, and they haven't had it in a while. It'd be really nice if they could put something like that in Communicore Hall. I mean, they have the space for it in there, and it's built for things like that. So here's hoping that maybe they'll do something creative with this space for Food and Wine this year. So next stop was Earth Eats over here by the Land Pavilion, and I got the Minute Maid strawberry hibiscus agua frescas. And the reason I wanted to get this was because one, it's a brand new item, and two, it's a refreshing item because it's really, really hot out here. And so I needed something to drink and I needed something refreshing. Now, they actually had a similar drink like this last year, but it was a blood orange flavor. But this one is strawberry, and I love strawberry. And this was actually very, very refreshing. Like, this is a little sweeter than the blood orange one that they had last year, but it hit the spot. Just what I needed, because like I said, it's really hot out here. You need to stay hydrated, drink water, drink some Powerade or something with electrolytes, but also make sure you get you a very refreshing drink. Up next was Bramblewood Bites, and this food kiosk is actually located in an area called Harvest Hollow, and it includes 3 food kiosks: Forest and Field, Milled and Mulled, and Bramblewood Bites. These debuted last year, but they have returned, and they even have some new items. I decided to get the cast iron seared trout from Bramblewood Bites. This comes with vanilla butternut squash puree, Brussels sprout salad, candied pecans, spiced pumpkin seeds, dried cranberries, and maple dressing. There's definitely a lot going on with this dish, but it looks good, and I'm happy to report that it tastes very good. I was a little worried about the trout because, you know, not everyone can cook seafood well, but this was actually very tasty and the texture was really nice. And also I liked how all the flavors blended together. And I say this as someone who's not a fan of Brussels sprouts or of pumpkin, and I didn't mind either of those flavors on this dish. So I finally made it over to the World Showcase, and my first stop was the Spain kiosk, and I ended up getting the Basque cheesecake, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, with orange sauce. So I got it because I love cheesecake. Anything cheesecake I will eat, but also because it's a cheese item, that means I get a stamp for Emile's fromage montage. So I'm one step closer to completing the food stroll. So as far as the cheesecake goes, this was a very, very good dessert, very tasty, very creamy. I'd probably put it pretty high up on the Disney cheesecake list. Disney does a pretty good job with cheesecakes during the festival, and they always have a bunch of different types of cheesecakes, like passion fruit cheesecake and things like that. But this one was pretty good. And the orange sauce added a nice little extra bit of flavor to everything, and you also get some actual oranges. So my next stop was Japan, where I got the peachy mango boba. I always like stopping at Japan because they always have something I want to try. Usually it's a food item, but of course I'm trying all the new items, and I wanted to get one of the new drink items because it is really hot today, as if I hadn't mentioned that already, that it is super hot and I'm trying to stay cool. So I got this drink here, see if it's as refreshing as it sounds. Again, has the boba in it. Oh, that is very tasty. And it's not too sweet either. It's almost got kind of a creamy texture to it, although it's not really creamy, but this hit the spot. This is good. Peachy mango boba. Another thing you can do while you're here at the park is to take in some of the live entertainment, especially around the World Showcase. They always have different performers at the different country pavilions. Like over here in France, they have a brand new performer, and so it's nice to just stop and watch the live entertainment, watch the performer as you're making your way around the World Showcase. All right, so I'm heading towards the exit, wrapping up my day here at EPCOT. I had a wonderful time at the festival, but there are a couple of things I wanted to mention. Now, if you happen to be at the park in the evenings, there are a few things that you can do besides eating and drinking. There's the Eat to the Beat concert series that I already mentioned before. There are a ton of acts on the lineup this year. You have Boyz II Men, Hanson, Joey Fatone and Friends, the list goes on. There's 3 concerts each night. The first one starts at 5:30, so if it's a really popular act, you definitely want to try to get in line early. And then also, if you happen to be here in the evenings, you can enjoy the fireworks, of course, Luminous, A Symphony of Us, and you can also enjoy the light show here over at Spaceship Earth. Now, during the festivals, they add a special sequence. So like during Festival of the Arts, they'll add Rainbow Connection featuring Kermit the Frog. And then during Food and Wine Festival, they add Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast. So definitely make sure you check out those things if you happen to be here in the evening. So I had a great time here at the festival, enjoying all the new food. And of course, I will be back to try even more food and of course experience more of what the festival has to offer. I hope you enjoyed joining me, and if you did, hit that like button, that thumbs up button, I'd really appreciate it. Also, hit that subscribe button, I'd appreciate that as well. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.